Clicked live here. I'd like to welcome those in attendance with us. This is our 15th weekly meeting on the 61 project. As been in the format, we do the schedule update here, which is televised, address any concerns, just give kind of general project update. Then we break out and have our more project-specific meeting. Just give a couple updates here quick before I turn it over to Ryan with Meyer. Had a situation this morning with the heavy rainfall. Ponding on 61, I believe, is at the Franklin Street intersection. There's a duration of time there where 61 was brought down to a single lane. And that is all due to a temporary connection between the phases on the south side and the north side. There's a 24-inch storm sewer crossing there that we've had to reduce down to make the temporary connection. There's a grade change that's being proposed. And just be in the sense that we can't complete the full run of that storm sewer across 61. That's created a bottleneck as far as the flow within the system itself. So we've had a couple situations now of ponding there, and it's all been construction related, and certainly long term shouldn't see this issue long standing after we get all the work done there. So we're taking note here now, and we're getting closer to getting Franklin done. There's just some logistics that on the north side there that doesn't allow us to jump right to Franklin immediately to get it done. But we're going to reassess that today and just make sure that we're progressing such that we can maybe eliminate that issue going forward. The heavy rains just aren't predictable, and they're tough to manage at times. And just wanted to give an update on that, and appreciate the patience this morning and apologize for any inconveniences that created. And then there's some other general updates. I was asked to speak last week on Monday. I believe that tree removals were completed on the north side. All those were per plan. The intent is that the boulevards are restored with new trees, a little smaller in height, better positioned within the new improvements. And so, yes, there's a lot of trees removed, but they're intended to go back. Approximately 4 trees a boulevard between blocks on each side. No range in species between lindens, maples, oaks, and that will continue from Old West Main all the way through the downtown portion as well. And so on the portion we're under construction here now, stage 1, there'll just be trees within the sodded boulevards. And then downtown next year, there'll be trees within the concrete boulevards, and they'll have tree grates around them, kind of similar to what's there now in the downtown portion. But just wanted to put a little piece out on that, is that the aesthetic appeal of the corridor should be maintained with these new trees, even though we did remove the old ones. And then just the last quick update on the south side. The temp paving was planned, bituminous paving was planned to be completed all on Friday. I think we got the most of the accesses restored. There's just a little bit remaining yet, including the temporary crossings there that I made note of in the weekly update. That work is intended to be completed this week, weather dependent here. Of course, with the rain this morning, I'm sure the scheduling got impacted, but the last little bit of bituminous tying in of pavement on the south side should be completed this week, which should be complete everything then from a concrete and blacktop standpoint. So just a few points I wanted to make. With that, I'll turn it over to Ryan with Meyer for the schedule, if you would, Ryan.
Sure, thanks, Corey. Well, the good news was we had gained about 2 days from last week with our water and sewer lateral crew. The bad news is that 1.5 inches that we got almost today, probably going to lose those days back. Right now we're showing still a negative lag situation. I think I need to rework these assignments per crew, but we still have 2 crews working out there. They'll be working out there for approximately 2 more weeks on the laterals and the storm sewer system. We've also got our 3rd crew, the earthwork crew, that's going to be repairing the roads, and that's going to be our critical path going forward, and that's where we're losing time right now. It's just simply too wet to work the surfaces. That'll take about 3 weeks to get the road prep done. In week 3 of the 3-week schedule, we plan on bringing Doyle back to do the concrete paving, and hopefully we can get Monarch in to do mill and overlay at the end of 61 up there by Old West Main. And of course, Egan has been keeping up with us all the way along. The next shift would be to traffic control system E, which I think is where we move traffic over from where we're now is Fulton with the left turns. We would move that to, I believe, Franklin on this side. And that's looking like that's probably going to happen next week. I think that pretty well covers this 3-week schedule.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. So, Corey, you mentioned the side streets. So, basically, each side street through that area is from Cedar, Pine. They're all open to right in, right out, and then the full intersection, of course, at Fulton with the signal.
That's correct.
But every intersection through that corridor has a right in, right out, along with every driveway that's directly abutting Main Street has a right in, right out as well.
That's correct.
For a business driveway.
That's correct.
Okay. So when you say that there's some paving that needs to be done this week, it'd be the temp paving for the pedestrian crosswalk at, is that at Fulton?
Fulton and Franklin?
Yeah.
Fulton and Franklin around those, around the temporary signal poles.
Yep, that's correct. And then I believe there is a large parking lot area there between Liquor King and DQ. Some of that got restored, but they ran out of mix on Friday when they were here last week Friday. So the remaining portion of that would be restored. And then I think also maybe just a little bit at Johnson Schofield there to tie his driveway back. So
Okay, and that would be permanent paving then, finished tie-ins on those driveways.
yep, that's
The
correct.
Dairy Queen and Johnson Schofield driveways with some paving this week along with those temp pavings for the ped ramps.
That's correct.
So really not much paving, blacktop paving this week. Okay.
No, just to complete what they intended to, but just weren't able to get last week.
Okay. Josh, you have anything to add about?
I guess side note on the Franklin driveway for the Liquor King or the DQ is that's also an area that needs blacktop
Okay.
too. So other than that, basically Johnson and Schofield, and then that Liquor King driveway are the two that abut the side streets that are not blacktop yet.
Okay. Jerry, do you have anything on utilities that this week, or you want to expand on that you've seen?
No, I don't think so. We'll be doing some flushing and testing of mains when they're ready for us to get in there. Other than that, they'll be hooking services up and transferring people off of temp water as they go, but I don't think there's really any effect on the rest of it at all.
Jared, how many services have, now that they started on that side, have they taken a few off temp water on the
I
north
guess
side?
I'm not sure who's.
3 of them they've done so far that are hooked up.
They've done 3?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else to add, Corey?
Just a little quick blip on the River City Days. Certainly, we're acknowledging that is coming up here this weekend. The plan as it goes forward, there won't be any construction work planned for Saturday. The contractor's also gonna try to shut down on Friday the best that they're able, understanding that the festivities and things will start to ramp up, traffic will get heavy, and no exact time yet on that on Friday, but just wanted to make everyone aware that we're certainly cognizant of that coming up, and are going to try to keep progression of work going, but also provide space for that. And with that, the expectations from a traffic movement standpoint is there's no proposed changes. So Broad Street would stay open. As we indicated, Fulton right now is the signalized intersection. No plan to change that before the weekend. And so I guess for those making plans and stuff, they can expect things to hold status quo at least through the weekend. So with that, I guess, I think that's the last thing I had, Jay, unless you had.
One question I hadn't looked at the schedule, I thought of for Ryan. When is or Larry, when is the plan to be in that intersection to finish off that storm sewer that's undersized right now, where we had the flooding issue?
In Franklin?
Yeah, at Franklin.
It would have been Thursday if it didn't rain.
You were trying to get to that Thursday, so possibly Friday or Monday of the following week, or
Probably Monday of the following week.
Okay. Okay. With that, do we have any questions in the audience?
Brian, I missed the update on Old West Main, and that's how that's coming on? The intersection?
Sure.
Yeah, it looks like as far as an update from Old West Main goes, and that's what Ryan was indicating, the road prep work was certainly going to start right there. That's the work that's been at least immediately delayed due to the rain event today. Looking at the 3-week outlook, it's still projected to start paving that the first full week of August. So it's slipped here a few days, as Ryan indicated. Right now, it's projected for, I guess, the tail end of that first week, August 7th. So
Yeah, but that's a Friday, Corey. That'll
Yeah.
likely slip with the
So-
rain today, so it'd probably be that
that
second week
second
of August.
full weekend. So I guess it looks here as if that's maybe been delayed a week, and so it's certainly the driving movement. The utilities are completed or nearing completion. The road prep's the next thing, and then as soon as that's available to be paved, there's an effort to get Doyle back in here. So it's.
Are we talking completion, or are we talking just open?
We're talking road paving's the first step to get that open to the right in, right out. So, like as we indicated, paving of 61 is going to be the through lanes is going to be the first scope there from a concrete pavement standpoint. Then there'll have to be a little discussion on how they want to attack the medians in the center lane through there. I don't know if they would address that immediately or. Logistically, there's going to have to be more discussion on how we open Old West Main and still get the work completed in there, because there's going to be a couple sequences of work there just beyond the paving of the through lanes. We're talking the through lanes right now as being that second week of August. There's a lot more work there in Old West Main, so don't want to make any promises when that's going to be restored. We certainly acknowledge and are going to make the best effort to get that open as quickly as we can. But as I've indicated, we don't really want to open it and then immediately close it to provide confusion. So it's kind of a moving target, and we'll continue to update as we know. But we're just a few weeks out, probably too far to give an exact time yet.
Yeah, and to be clear, that if we are going to push for an opening, it would be an opening for right in, right out. It won't be completely open until the project is near completion, because we've got signal work there and turn lanes to build and the median to build out there. So that would be at the end of the project, end of August, first part of September, for full access intersection with a signal. But we are working toward trying to get at least a right in, right out as soon as we can at that intersection, just to kind of give another access point and exit point from the Old West Main area. So that would be, hopefully we could kind of see something like that in mid-August or that second week of August. But we'll work with the contractor on that. Any other questions? Patty?
Do we actually signage for River City Days to divert them like early before they get all the way into Withers Harbor or wherever, we don't even want them going down to Old West Main, obviously. Was there any?
There is a sign at Bench Street that said Old West Main is closed at 61, and it directs you to take a left there at Bench. I did check that to see, make sure that was in place. I saw that this morning. So they know that you can't turn at Old West Main, so you should be using the Bench Street and then, going down on Withers Harbor Drive and that direction.
Can we add a River City Days Festival arrow sign? I don't want to get in your construction stuff, but because that's going to be the most obvious, I would guess, the best spot for them to try to get down to Big Point Park is where you want them to go off on Bench and then hook in the Levy Road kind of backside. Or where do you want us to route?
That would be, that's the route that we would, that would be the way to get down there. And then, of course, from the downtown area, you can use Broad or Bush or whatever. That's not quite as.
That's the one I'm not as worried about.
Yeah.
The ones coming from the north.
So, the ones coming from the Burnside area, if we'd added that onto that same sign, we could add a placard that says River City Days access or something. I think we could look at that.
Direct them down there, early before they get into all the.
Yep.
Is that something you want to do from a construction signing standpoint, or do we have other options to get a River City Day? So I'm just throwing it out there. Is
That's
there?
why I was like, well, I didn't know if I could like go out there and put a sign up.
Yeah, that's a little, we've worked with the signing for businesses on city right of way in different areas and things like that. That's out on the highway. I might want to do that more on the construction signage with the black on orange construction signs out in the middle of MnDOT's. You know where I'm talking there, right in front of the car dealership there, Jeff. Yeah, I don't think, yeah,
We would come and get those.
I figured you would.
yeah.
Oh, we're saying a turn sign at Bench Street or at Withers Harbor?
I'm thinking,
That bench, I think maybe on that same sign that says Old West Main closed at 61, actually have one that says River City Days with a left arrow. Yeah,
and then leave it on that way.
yeah,
I think that would work.
yeah. We'll look into that, and I think we can get something put together. I'm not sure if Morning Lights is down here at all this week for anything.
They've been pretty responsive. If we desire a sign, I think they'd
We could
accommodate
get something
that, so
put
just-
together. Okay.
So festivities would start down there, Thursday night, that's not as critical, but Friday for sure.
Okay. All right, we'll make note of that. That's a good spot to put a sign.
And then as far as we typically sign at like east-west Broad, that intersection, is that gonna be an issue if I'm posting our River City Days? I mean, they're small signs, they're like realtor-size signs, basically. If I'm directing them down Broad into Levy Park and such, is that gonna be an issue?
No, I don't see any issue with that. You're right by your office, right by the chamber there. You put some sandwich board signs and stuff like that. Yep, that'll be fine. Yep. If they're not fine, Larry will move them, but
They should be fine.
they should be fine.
That's the intent of staying out of Broad, is hopefully that
Yeah.
could be a
good
linkage.
connection right
Yeah,
there.
a good connection, and you'd
Yep.
have space to do what you need for signing and stuff, so.
Yep. Okay. Any other questions on the project? Anything else to add from any staff that's here? Steve, do you have anything that, no? Okay. I'm going to turn it over. I'm not going to forget this week. I'll be able to forget in a couple weeks. I'll be done. But,
Pretty
yeah.
close. And I got a vacation coming up, so I'll have to skip 1 week. The good news today, 11:30, I drove past Sevastopol, and the trucks were there getting ready to pull all the barrels and the detour signing for that detour. So that should be off here by rush hour, I hope, today. There's had a sweeper out there trying to clean things up, but the striping's done, and they'll be pulling that detour today. There'll still be a little bit more work down there probably as we go forward, but minor flagging operations on occasion should help with that. So that's good to get that over with. Back to the north side of town, they just got about 2/3 of the last driving lane coming back into town here to complete, which would have been done today with the exception of the rain. The plan originally was to be done Friday with all the paving on the north side. That's probably been pushed back till Saturday now, or we'll see, might even finish up a little bit on Monday morning. But I still see the following week, probably later, maybe the 5th through the 7th of August, somewhere in there. There's a little delay between the paving gets done and some of our striping that has to take place, so they hopefully will start that right away on Monday. And hopefully by the end of next week, at least have the northbound lane closures removed. By the end of next week would be my hope. And then the following week, hopefully getting the southbound lane closures removed so that everything will be less orange on the north side of town, hopefully by the 14th or somewhere about in that general vicinity. As soon as they're done paving, the end of next week or end of this week, and maybe they'll be moving to the south side here, starting at Potter and working their way down towards the Semstone plant. That's not quite as intense as I think they were saying 6 to 8 days of paving on that operation. So that would kind of put us probably somewhere around the 10th or 11th in that zone, and then there's a little bit of delay there before some of that striping, so I would hope that those lanes would be then maybe opened again by maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of the 21st of August. So that would be kind of wrapping up most of the major operations that we would be having for our project. So they're still very well on schedule to be done before Labor Day weekend with probably have everything done by then, all the striping and every last bit of everything. So still making progress, and we hope every time we come in and talk now, we'll be talking about more and more things that have become opened and becoming a lot less invasive to the traveling public. So, but things look good the rest of this week weather-wise. I was just looking at my phone before we started here, and there's a lot of chance of rain next week, so we'll see how this all kind of holds together. But we're at that point now where we can't really do anything when it rains. It's just too hard for them to stick around here and wait for, it might be dry by the end of the day, but it's just not enough time to really get anything started. So hopefully the end of next week, northbound will be cleared up.
Also, just to note, and some of you may have seen a few of the structures along 61 that are low right now through the overlay area. Those will be raised. I know if you're driving into town, there's some that are 2 to 3 inches low. They're ordering the rings, and they will heat up the blacktop and get those raised because it's quite a bump going along your left side there coming into town. Your left wheel's right along that median. There's four storm sewer structures that are in need of being raised. So they haven't been forgotten. It just they needed some materials to get it done, and that will be done. So.
Probably not noticeable on a normal day, but when you're crushed over against that curb, with the lane closed right now, you're probably hitting them pretty consistently. So
I've heard some concerns on that. So we talked this morning, and they will be getting that done. So, and that, any questions on the overlay project for Jeff? One thing I will add is there's a stretch where our concrete ends and then their overlay ended, and there's that portion of paving will be done under our contract. So, and that's right there. I think Ryan brought it up right there west of Old West Main. There's a section of paving that we will do that'll tie that all together. So we won't be leaving some bad blacktop between the two projects. So
No.
Right now you can kind of see it's bad because we got new concrete, and then you go on to bad blacktop, and then you go on to the new blacktop. So, but that'll be part of our project. Okay, thank you for coming.